Alright, so this tutorial is going off of the first lesson that the students in second grade have learned about multiplication. So in second grade, the students are exposed to a variety of different ways to explain and help the students understand more clearly what multiplication is. So the first one that we're going to look at is the visual representation. So my problem is going to have two ladybugs. So here are my two ladybugs. If I want to, I can make little legs on my ladybugs. And I could make antenna on my ladybugs. A visual representation is just a picture to represent the number sentence that is being asked for the students to respond to. So here is my ladybug, and so the multiplication problem is going to sound like this. There are two ladybugs. Each ladybug has 3 spots. How many spots are there altogether? So here are my two ladybugs. Now the second thing I have to do is draw on my spots. So each ladybug has 3 spots. So I have two groups. So when the students are trying to solve their multiplication problems at home, you can have them first start out with a visual representation. So I have two groups. Two groups with 3 in each group. So the students have these two numbers to look at. The best way for them to find out what the answer is after this in a visual representation would be just to count the number of dots. So the students could then count all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they would know that two groups of 3 equals 6. So that would be two groups of 3 equal 6. That is the first way the students have been exposed to multiplication. The second way the students have been exposed is through repeated addition. So the students, if we look back at the visual representation, the students know that there are two groups with 3 in each group. So the students start out with making their groups just represented with a circle. So here are my two groups, and I'm going to put a plus sign in between because this is repeated addition. So I have my two groups. In each group I have 3. So I'm going to write the number 3 in each of my circles. Then the students solve for the problem, and that problem is 3 plus 3, and the student should know that 3 plus 3 is equal to 6. So once again, the students start out, if there are two groups, by drawing two circles, putting a plus sign in between because it's an addition problem. Then looking at how many are in each group, and in this problem there are 3 in each group, so we'll put a number 3. And then they solve looking at the problem again, 3 plus 3 equals 6. So we have the visual representation where the students draw a picture and then count how many objects they see. So the students will, when they're looking at the repeated addition, they will look at how many groups there are, and if there are two groups, they will draw 2 circles and then add how many are in each group together. The last way that the students will be doing multiplication in second grade is the regular form of multiplication. So if we look back at the visual, we see 2 groups with 3 in each group. The multiplication problems that we're used to are represented by number times a number equals the product. For this, the first number is always going to be how many groups there are. So if there are 2 groups, the first number is going to be 2. Times and then how many are in each group. And in this problem it was 3. So we have 2 because it's the number of groups, and 3 because there are 3 in each group. And again, the students can look back at their visual representation or their repeated addition to know that 2 times 3 is equal to 6. They're going to figure out that this is an easier way to solve the problem. Drawing a picture, although it's easier for them to see, it's going to take them a little bit longer. Repeated addition is the same thing. Although this problem was fairly simple, with 2 groups, they're going to get to problems where there might be 9 groups, and the students will then have to add a number 9 times.